Great. Hello, 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 everyone. It is another wonderful Wednesday, and I'm so happy to be here with you. It's your girl, Tech Ty, and today is Talking Tech with Ty, our community series. And I am extremely excited to speak with today's guest. It is the Cherilynn Castleman. So, you know, your girl can talk. You know how excited I am to spend time with you today. So, I'm going to wrap this up and I'm going to introduce Cherilynn so that she can introduce herself best. And welcome to Talking Tech with Ty community series, Cherilynn.
Hi, Ty. I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just have to say that it took me a while to connect and do things on LinkedIn, and meeting you has been life changing, and I can't thank you enough. So, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you for having me on. And I'm just so thrilled to talk to your audience today.
Absolutely. And it is great to have you here. Now, anyone who has been following Talking Tech with Ty, um, all of our series, community series, learner series, founder series, future series, that I am someone who is focused on helping professionals transform their lives personally and professionally. And the reason I'm talking with Cherilynn Castleman today is because she is a transformational sales leader. Now, maybe you didn't hear me. Let me bring it back. She is a transformational sales leader. And whether you work in quote unquote sales or you're just in this world, you need selling skills. And it's very important, especially because you may have noticed that there have been approximately 12 to 13 straight weeks of layoffs, rescinded offers, hiring freezes, and just outright just company reductions in the tech space. Some people think that it is because of a bunch of different factors, but it's also a correction. And these are things that happen in the workplace, in the work world, in the workforce. So talking to Cherilynn is very important today because everyone sells. And if you don't know that you're selling, then you better recognize. So, she is an author, an executive coach, a keynote speaker, as well as Salesforce influencer 2022. And I first met Cherilynn because we had a coaching session, which left an impression on me. And I'm really excited to have her speak today to you about what this means for upskillers and reskillers. So, Cherilynn, please tell us why you are this transformational sales leader and why we should listen right now.
Thank you, Ty. So, one of the things, so first of all, I have been in sales since before Girl Scout cookies were 50 cents a box. So, for anybody counting on your fingers or trying to figure out how long, that is a long time. It's all I've done. It's been in sales.
Mhm,
And then I went on to be a Fortune 500 global sales executive. Over the course of my time,
mhm,
I realized that everything we do is sales. So whether you are trying to get promoted, whether you are trying to get a new job in a new industry or a new career, or
yeah,
whether you're just trying to get your kids out of bed and off to school, we are all selling. Anytime you are convincing somebody to think the way you do something for you, it is sales. So let's get good at it. And so
absolutely.
that's what I do is the goal, my mission and my vision is to help a million black and brown women sit at the table of their dreams. And when I say the table of their dreams, whether you want to sit at the C-suite table, whether
Mhm.
you want to be at the top of the leaderboard, whether you want to be a sales executive, or whether you want to build your own table and sit at your entrepreneurial table, whatever table you want to sit at, I can help you do that. And I help women and your audience do that by building some skills. And my position is if you've got to sell, you might as well get good at it.
You make a fantastic point, and we're always selling because we're negotiating, we're influencing, and these skills are pertinent to everyday life, personally and professionally. So y'all know that's what I'm about. So I'd like to really get your take on the last 12 or so weeks of, as I mentioned, hiring freezes, rescinded offers, and the like, and what skills you think that our audience should really look into to help them sell themselves for their next role, for their next engagement, for their next encounter during this journey that we call life?
Okay, so number one, the most important thing that we have to know is we have to know what our superpower is.
Okay.
Now, and so if you could right now, if I could just have you take out a piece of paper and write down your three superpowers, just one, two, three, and you automatically know what those are, awesome. That is great. That's where all salespeople start, is what are your superpowers? Now, I have to tell you, I was at a camping event. There was a mother there. It was a family camping event with outdoor afro, and the little girl was whining, and her mother said, "Stop. What is your superpower?" This is what she said to her about her 4 or 5 year old. And the little girl goes, "I figure things out." And her
Oh.
mother said, "Hey, now figure it out." And I was like, I got goosebumps because I said, I coach and train women all day. And I'll say, "What is your superpower?" And they'll say, "I don't really know." And this 4 year.
Mm.
So whether you are looking for a new job in a new career space, or a new industry, or a new space, or you're trying to get promoted in your current space, knowing what your superpower is critical. It's number one. Two tips to know what your superpower if you don't know.
Okay.
Number one is called the 100 list. Take out a
Okay.
piece of paper, number it from 100. Sit down someplace where you won't be finish this exercise. It could take 20 minutes, could take 40 minutes. Put a sign on the door, "Don't bother me." Do not get up until you have listed out 100 things you've been successful at. And I want you to start back to when you were 5 years old. I don't care if you won the double dutch contest. Okay. Write it down. Just write down every success you've had in your life till you get to that 100. Once you're done, go through it. And there's some themes in there. You're going to say, "I'm a connector. I'm creative. I'm
Yeah.
innovative. I make great presentations. I am good at math." So, whatever it is, pull those themes out, and
Yeah.
those are your superpowers. Number two, I want you to start your greatest hit. Take your phone, open it up, and in
Okay.
your notes section, write Ty's greatest hits. And then take the key themes out of that 100 list and put it in there.
Okay. I can do
Now,
that.
what I want you to do is the rest of this year, every time you do something, you accomplish something, somebody gives you a kudos, drop it in there. Because what you're going to do with this is two things. One, we all have bad days. We all have failures. We all have days where you just don't
We
feel
do.
as amazing as you are. You
Mhm.
go to your superpowers, and it's a great way to remind yourself that I got this. Okay. Number
Yeah.
two, if you have a job and performance review comes around, take that notes, export it, email it to yourself, and there are your accomplishments that goes in your performance review. If you keep this year after year, everything you've done, you know what your superpower is. So that's number one. The other way that you can learn your superpower is
Mhm.
send an email to 5 or 6 former bosses, former colleagues, current colleagues, and
Yeah.
say to them, "Hey, Ty, do me a favor. Please respond to this email with 5 of my best or positive attributes." Okay.
I can do
Also
that.
remind me about something that where we had a great time. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, what you're going to get back from your email are these amazing events that you have forgotten about, and there's going to be a
Very
theme, and
true.
people are going to tell you what your positive attributes are. Take those, put those in and now you know what your superpower is. Okay, so
I really like that.
know what your superpower is. That's number
Mhm.
one. Number two, take that superpower and answer the why question.
Okay.
So if I have this superpower, and my superpower is I build great relationships, and my superpower is I'm innovative, and my superpower is that I'm an incredible listener. Now answer the question, why would the person who's talking to me, why would the person who's hiring me care that I'm creative, I'm innovative, or I'm a great listener? And then
Mhm.
you answer, "So what?" So then what I would say to you is, "Hi, Ty. I'm Cherilynn. And I am so thrilled to be talking to you today because I'm an innovative, creative, and I'm a great listener. And I'm a great listener because you're looking for a customer service manager. And your clients will know that I will listen to them, and they will want to do more business with us." You see what I did? I just said what
Yes.
you would care. If I say that I'm a great listener and I'm applying for a job where I'm going to be selling technology to fleet managers, I would say I'm a great listener. And
Mm.
fleet managers who you're selling like working with me because I will help them understand how they can keep up with their trucks, because trucks right now in the industry, because of the supply chain, are missing sometimes. So trucks are
Absolutely.
going. and crates and cargo is going missing. And so I can tell you that you sell to fleet managers, and fleet managers want to work with me because I'm a great listener. And as a great listener, I can solve their missing cargo problems. And you see what I did? I took my
Yes.
skill and connected it to your why. So it doesn't matter what your superpower is, you want to connect it to your buyer's why. If somebody's hiring you, connect it to what's important to them. If they want more revenue, more clients, if you're in customer service and you're dealing with complaining customers, I'm a great listener, and customers will talk to me, and I
Mhm.
will help you retain those customers. And retained customers are repeat customers, and that's more revenue.
Absolutely.
You see?
Absolutely. And I really do like that. I like how you were able to distill it down to very few tips, as well as qualify and quantify how I or you or any of our audience members can go ahead and find out their superpowers and attach that and connect it to other people's why. I mean, that is something that we do in our everyday life, whether we realize it or not, and something that we need to do more regularly to just have access to what are we actually giving off in the world, and who are we and how do we show up. And I think that's very important, especially right now when so much of our world has changed due to the influence of COVID over the last 2.5 going into 3 years. So thank you for that, Charlene. That really distills it, qualifies it, and quantifies it in just like a few bite-sized pieces.
So just like you said, Ty, the pandemic has changed everything we have known
Yes.
about everything. So it has to change how we apply for positions,
Hmm.
interview positions,
Hmm.
or get promoted. And what we have to do is demonstrate value. Why do I want to hire you?
Hmm.
Why do I want to promote you? And that why has to be for me. So you have to understand that hiring manager's pain point. And if you really don't understand what it is, do some homework. Go out on
Absolutely.
LinkedIn and see what people are posting about. Go out and read about what people are struggling with. Oh, what
Hmm.
are sales managers struggling with? Okay. Sales managers are struggling with retention. If you talk about how loyal you are and how your ability to collaborate with others and make others want to work with you and
Yeah.
stay with an organization, you've just differentiated yourself from just any other salesperson. So go out and understand what the hiring manager's pain is or what the company's pain is. You can read about the industry on analyst reports. And I know this is getting a little technical, but one of my favorite places is Value Line. Every library has Value Line. You can go to the library, go to
I like
research, look
that.
up Value Line. It's a quarterly update about every industry. It tells you what's going on in the industry, what the industry is struggling with. If you say to a hiring manager, I know that the trucking industry is struggling with lost cargo, and because I'm innovative, I can help our customers keep up with their cargo based upon what we're selling. You've differentiated yourself from anybody else because you know what's going on with.
I
So
like
whether
that a
you're
lot.
in your industry or interviewing in a new industry, read Value Line. Just go in there, click on the industry, and every
Mm,
quarter there's an independent update about all major industries. Also, if it's a
mm.
publicly traded company, there will be a company analysis in Value Line every quarter. So if you're going to work for a publicly traded company, you can read about what they're struggling, what they've accomplished, and this is an independent analysis about what's going on. And then you can position yourself and say, I've been reading about the company is focused on X or on Y, and I can do this.
I think that those are excellent resources because a lot of time the content that we are engaging with or consuming or interacting with is very static. So that's why I choose to do LinkedIn Lives, the video, because it persists and it's a lot more engaging. I read LinkedIn all day long. I learn about some fantastic opportunities and I've never come across Value Line. So you telling me and this audience that, chef's kiss, love it. But not only that, the fact that going to Value Line, you get access to quarterly reports on the changes, the ebbs and flows of and organization and or its industry, that is so helpful. I'm someone who does due diligence and likes to be prepared. And in my preparation, I really like to be able to know what is current and what has happened historically. So I really do appreciate hard resources for this community, because when you go through a boot camp or job retraining program, the time that you spend getting the instruction is important, but you have to learn how to be resourceful after you leave that job simulation space of instruction only and get out in the real world and try something new or do something that beyond your comfort zone. And having access to resources like that, that's really invaluable. So really do appreciate that. I would like to pivot a little bit towards some resources that you may have for the entrepreneur. You mentioned that some people will want to build their own table and have a seat at it. So how does an entrepreneur that is decided that following upskilling or reskilling, that I could do this myself? I have had the industry experience. I know how to sell myself. I know how to do some lead generation, kinda. But like, how do I prepare for clients? How do I use resources like LinkedIn or any that you're going to provide us with to really prepare for selling and pitching myself to others to work with me?
So, again, I think the most important thing
Hmm.
that an entrepreneur has to have is your value story. And so, if you're
Absolutely.
selling yourself, your value story is, here are my superpowers, here's what I do. If you are selling, if you're a consultant, what are the three things that differentiate you from anyone else? I don't
Okay.
care if you're selling cakes or you're selling consulting services. It doesn't matter. What
Mhm.
differentiates you from anyone else?
Mm.
What are those three things, and what is that? So,
So what?
this why. The so what is the
Mm.
why? Why tie? Why tie today? And why should I buy from you now? So why should I buy?
Okay.
Why today, or why now, and why tie?
Hmm.
And that's what, and so it doesn't matter whether it's your personal brand that I'm buying, your superpower, or it is what you deliver. So, what differentiates you? So, I tell people I stop the revolving door. So, one of the things that I do is I teach sales managers how to stop the revolving door. They spend money, they hire Black and brown women, and then women leave. And I say, you got to stop that revolving door. Okay. That's what my differentiator is. And I tell them why. Why is because it costs you a lot of money to hire somebody. When somebody leaves, it'll
Absolutely.
cost you almost at least 60% of their salary to replace them. Number two,
Mhm.
it the time it takes to ramp up and train them, and the lost business. So put your
Yes.
time and energy on retaining these women versus, so let's stop that revolving door. That's my
Absolutely.
why. There's a
Hmm.
great resignation going on right now, so we want to stop it right now. Um, you have great people, you spent money to bring them, and have helped companies do this, and I can help you do that. So that's what you want with your value story, is
Okay.
you want to be able to answer why buy,
Mhm.
why now, and why from me. And the from
Yeah.
me is a relationship. And that's what I love about LinkedIn. If I said to you, Ty,
Yes.
I
Say to me.
just met, if I said, oh, I just met you, let's go off together on a women's retreat for a week, what would you say to me?
Okay.
No, you
Yes.
wouldn't. You would say, I don't know you. I
No,
don't know if
ma'am.
I want to be with you for a week. But if
Yes.
you and I have been working together like we have for the past 6 months, and we're just excited, and I said, hey, let's go brainstorm together for a couple days and go
Hmm.
off to a retreat, you say, absolutely, because we have a relationship.
Yes. And we
It's
vetted each other. That's different. Absolutely.
So it's the same thing when you think about relationships on LinkedIn.
Hmm.
Connect with people, engage with their content, build a relationship with people, so is that they want to work with you, they want to buy from you, they want to, so build a relationship. A couple ways to build a relationship, whether
Yes.
you're an entrepreneur
Hmm.
or you're reskilling or you're upskilling. is to do information interviews. And I know people say they hate this, but I will tell you, everybody loves telling you their story. And what I say
Yes.
to people on LinkedIn is thank you for connecting. After I connect with them, I would love to hear your story.
Oof. How
Okay.
do you have the time?
Can you take 15 minutes and just share your story? And
Ooh.
and once people say yes, I do three things. So the first question I ask them is, what's your story? What's your journey? How did you get there, Ty? Okay.
Mm.
Number two, what is your vision and how can I help you? Okay, it's not about me. It's how can I help you? And just like why I'm here today is I said, how can I help you with your audience? How can I help you with your mission?
Mhm.
And the third thing is, Ty, who should I talk to? Who else should I know? Who would you recommend that I talk to?
Yes. Hmm.
Those are
That's
the
real
three
connection.
things that I do when I talk to somebody. Now, when I introduce myself, I don't say, "Hi, I'm Cherilynn Castleman. I'm looking for," or "Hi, I'm Cherilynn Castleman. I'm doing this." I say my value story. "Hi, I'm Cherilynn Castleman. I've
Yes.
been in sales since before Girl Scout cookies were 50 cents a box, and I'm committed to helping a million black and brown women sit at the table of their dreams by 2030. But the
Mm.
problem is that most of these women don't have access or the financial fluency to get there. That's why I coach and train black and brown women. At the end of the call, do you know what somebody says to me?
What?
Cherilyn, how can I help you reach a million women? You see what they just did? I didn't ask
Yes.
them. I didn't get on the call saying, I'm on this
Mm.
call because I want you to help me reach women. I said, what is your story? What is your journey? How can I help you with your vision? So, where did you come from? Where are you? Where are you going? How can I help you get there? Who else should I talk to? And finally, ask me, or when I introduce myself, I've told them what my vision is, what my
Yes.
superpower is. My superpower is I coach and train women to sit at the table of their dreams. That's my superpower. That's what I do. So
Mm.
do an information interview, help people, and then people will help you because you're only one person away from that connection that will change your life
Absolutely.
or change your business.
Absolutely. Sherilyn, what I appreciate the most about our dialogue is the storytelling. I really like how you have woven and interwoven every single tip that you've given us, from finding the superpower, finding the why, your vision, your journey, and how it is not, I do this, I do that. For different personality types, different social selling types, some people are more gregarious, some people are more. This style is more gregarious. This style is more laid back, more nonchalant, and I know that you have views on that and assisting people as a longtime career coach. But I do that no matter someone's personality or how they show up in the world, that the storytelling is paramount and foundational to how people can connect and relate and resonate with each other. You told some stories that have really stuck with me. And I think that, no, not think, I know that's one of the reasons why I was eager to connect and maintain a relationship with you after going to one of your webinars at the end of last year, 2021. And the storytelling, the things that you talked about, especially there was something that you had mentioned about challenging people, and that that resonated, and I was just like, that's a message that I think a lot of people should know or would want to know. So could you talk about the challenge aspect and when
So one
connecting?
So yes, absolutely. My apologies. I get very excited about telling my stories, and I am sorry. It's one
Don't
of
be,
so
I'm so
so
excited myself. So please.
so one of the things that I would challenge you to do, anybody listening, is what I call well and better. Just real quickly, at the end of this session, I'm going to ask myself, Cherilyn, what did you do? I told stories. What could I have done better? Not interrupt Ty. Okay. So every time you do an interview, every time you do an information interview, just pause and say, what did I do well? And jot down a couple of things. And what could I have done better? Jot
Yeah.
those things down and then do better the next time. And each and every interview, each and every session that you do, you're going to get better. So that's my one tip, well and better. But one of my mentors said to me, and it was Bill Green, the former CEO of Accenture, said to me, you criticize people, you raise their defensiveness. But if you
Yes.
challenge people, you raise their game. So
Ooh,
I always challenge my clients, I challenge my listeners, I challenge anybody. And so my challenge for your listeners to find one actionable item. So
okay.
I've shared several tips. I've given you some frameworks. Get a library
Absolutely.
card and find Value Line. It's too expensive. You can't buy a membership to it. It'll cost you an arm and a leg. You have to go through your library to get it. You can get a library
Do that.
card today, most of you online, but just I have it on my desktop. I just click on it online and I pull it up all day. We've talked about knowing what your superpowers are and how to connect them to the listener's why. We've talked about well and better,
Mhm.
asking yourself and being committed to your own improvement and asking yourself, what did I do well? What could I have done better? If you're an entrepreneur, have a value story that talks
Yes.
about why someone should buy, why they should buy from you, and why they should buy from you now. And be able to say that very confidently and clearly. And Ty and I have talked about lots. Just choose one and
Yeah.
make a commitment and say, I will make this happen. By this
Yes.
time next week, I will have this implemented. That's my
Yes.
challenge. And I also encourage people that if you're within your organization and you see something you don't like and you want to have your maverick moment, you can have
Yeah.
your maverick moment. Challenge your company, don't criticize them. Say to
Mm.
your company, our mission statement says this and this, that we are committed to this. I want to challenge us around how we pay men and women because it doesn't align with our mission. Not I'm going to criticize you because women make less, women make less. Just challenge. And you will find that when you challenge your company, when you challenge your peers, when you challenge your manager, you're raising their game versus criticizing them and raising their defensiveness.
I have, first of all, I've learned so much in this segment, and I know that my audience has learned a lot in this segment. And 30 minutes is never enough, but I promise to bring exceptional speakers that have so much to share with our audience here. And because 30 minutes isn't enough, but it's just enough to wet the palate, I want to make sure that people that want to get in contact with you have access to you. So, Cherilynn Castleman talks about diversity. She talks about sales coaching, sales training, and as she mentioned several times, her 1 million women by 2030. I believe she also has not only a hashtag that you can search, that hashtag 1 million women by 2030, but also a LinkedIn group that you can join. I am as she gets 1 million women by 2030 at, as she mentioned, the seats at the table of their dreams. Oof, how profound. So I will go ahead and make sure that the information on how you could reach Cherilyn in the future and connect with her is accessible and available on our screen. As usual, Cherilynn Castleman, thank you so very much for being here. Everyone, thank you for tuning in this Wednesday to another Talking Tech with Ty in the community series. Is there anything you want to tell our audience before we peace out, Cherilyn?
Just thank you. Thank you. Just dream big and
Yes,
take action. And thank you everyone for following Ty and connect with me.
do it.
And Ty will give you instructions on how to. If you follow Ty's instructions, you can meet with me, you can connect with me, you can follow me, and you can join my mission to reach 1 million women sitting at the table of their dreams. But thank you, Ty.
Absolutely. Thank you, Cherilyn. Take care,
All right.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.